Hello and welcome to the very first episode of a show that I like to call... Wait, I don't even have a name for it yet. Oh! Hello and welcome to the very first episode of a show I like to call Lilo and Stitch Love, where I will look at everything in the Lilo and Stitch franchise. Let's start off with the original. Made in 2002 by directors Chris Sanders and Dean DeBlois, it was the 42nd classic animated Disney film and would go on to receive great critical praise and be nominated for Best Animated Feature of 2002. It is beloved by many, ending up spawning 3 movies, sequels, and a 65-episode TV series, all of which will be covered here. Film was basically my childhood, and I'd play it endlessly on repeat, probably to the annoyance of my parents. Since I love it so much, I figured I'd take another look at it today. So without further ado, let's look at Lilo and Stitch. So the film starts out with the Disney logo being abducted. We get introduced to Dr. Jumper Jukiba, an evil scientist being arrested for creating an evil genetic experiment.
You stand before this council, accused of illegal genetic experimentation.
He tries to deny it in every form possible, when...
We believe you actually created something.
Created something? But that would be irresponsible and unethical. I would never, ever make more than one.
Liar. This is Experiment 626. He is our main character. Ain't he cute?
He is bulletproof, fireproof, and can think faster than supercomputer.
Too bad he won't use that very much, especially in the TV show.
His only instinct to destroy everything he touches.
Naturally, everyone is completely shocked to this thing's existence, but the main counselor actually decides to see if it can be reasoned with.
Perhaps it can be reasoned with. Experiment 626. Give us some sign you understand any of this. Show us that there is something inside you that is good. Naughty!
As the doctor gets taken to prison, 626 gets sent to be not killed or to be blown to smithereens, because, you know, he's indestructible. No, what they do is plan to shoot him out into outer space and make him land on an asteroid in hopes that he'll just stay there and not do anything. And surprisingly, their plan actually works. They shoot him out to the asteroid and he actually lives there for... no, he escapes. Wow, it's so cool to see Disney doing a space epic. I mean, look at this stuff. Anyway, 626 ends up escaping using one of their own ships, and the search is on to try and find him.
Quadrant 17, Section 005, Area 51. A planet called Yarth.
Haha, get it? Because aliens don't know how to pronounce Earth. That joke used to be funny before it was used completely to death.
Hold it! Hold everything!
This is Agent Pleatley, the Earth expert, who surprisingly has a lot of his information completely wrong.
Earth is a protected wildlife reserve? Yeah, we've been using it to rebuild the mosquito population, which, need I remind you, is an endangered species!
Are they intelligent?
No, but they're very delicate. In fact, every time an asteroid strikes their planet, they have to begin life all over.
Since the only person who... oh my god, is that hamster veal? Sorry. Since the only person who knows anything about 626 is the Doctor,
Which is precisely
it is suggested that he be the one who goes down to Earth to try and get him, and in return he will be freed from prison.
But it's a delicate planet! Who's gonna control him?
You will.
Very good, Your Highness. I didn't quite... you're not joking?
So, tell me, my little one-eyed one, On what poor, pitiful, defenseless planet has my monstrosity been unleashed?
Into a completely different movie. Now we are introduced to our actual main character, Lilo, a little Hawaiian girl who lives in Hawaii and is busy swimming at the beach. This is the point where I have to mention the absolutely incredible soundtrack made by the god himself, Alan Silvestri, the guy behind also the Stuart Little, Castaway, Back to the Future, and goddamn Avengers themes. Lilo is in a hula class which she is apparently late for, because she was busy feeding her friend a fish named Pudge because
Pudge controls the weather.
she messes up the whole class and ends up beating up this girl because she got called crazy and has to end up sitting out the class and wait for her sister to come pick her up. And surprisingly, there's already some pretty interesting foreshadowing that's been done.
And as for that abomination,
If I gave Pudge tuna, I'd be an abomination! Ew, she bit me.
Does this look infected to you?
Does this look infected to you? Yeah.
So then Lilo goes to play dolls with the other girls, but because her family is not doing very well financially, she doesn't have any money to buy the same dolls, and has to end up making her own, which ends up scaring away the other girls because of how different it looks. We are then introduced to Nani, Lilo's older sister, who finds out she is not waiting for her at the porch like she said she would, but is actually gone.
Oh no. You better be home. Hey! Watch where you're going! Stupid head!
Lilo has insanely well locked up the house. I mean, look at this. And when Nani tries to break the door free, guess who would show up but...
You must be
The stupid head.
Oh.
So the social worker, Mr. Bubbles, introduces himself to Lilo.
Did you ever kill anyone?
We're getting off the subject.
In case you're wondering, this did not go well. You have 3 days to change my mind.
Now would be a pretty good point to point out that this family is pretty damn dysfunctional. I mean, really dysfunctional.
Why didn't you wait at the school? You were supposed to wait there. Lilo! Do you not understand? Do you want to be taken away? Get out of your room!
I'm already in my room!
After that big fight, we get a bit of a touching scene where we get to see they know just how dysfunctional their family is, and they're really trying their best to work at it.
A falling star! I call it, get out, I have to make a wish!
When you wish upon a star. This is the key scene where Lilo uses the falling star to wish for just a friend. Someone who will have her back and not make fun of her because of how weird she is, like the other girls in the class do. Oh right, wasn't there space stuff in this movie? So 626 crash lands on Earth, and in less than a minute, gets out of the ship, gets annoyed by rain, threatens to kill a frog, and then gets run over by a truck. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 trucks. All the while, the frog has this sadistic look on his face. I mean, look at it. It will consume your soul. The next morning, 626 wakes up in a dog shelter, where the 2 sisters have happened to go to get Lilo her new friend. And what proceeds is one of the most iconic scenes of the entire movie, as Lilo goes looking for her new dog friend.
Hi.
Oh, how?
Wow.
So after much commotion, Nani regretfully agrees to let Lilo get that dog, experiment. And then all that's left is just to give him a name.
You'll have to think of a name for him.
His name is Stitch.
Oh, no, that's not a real name. In Iceland. But here it's a good name. Stitch it is.
Turns out Jumbo and Completely are already on Earth. Seriously, how quick did they travel there? And are tracking him at that very moment.
You can't shoot, and you can't be seen. Look at you! You look like a monster. We have to blend in.
In the next scene, Nani leaves to go home, leaving the two of them to wander the streets, when it just so happens that Lilo's friends stop by and pretty much just completely insult Stitch. In retaliation, he throws one of the girls off her bike, steals the bike, and then has Lilo come with him. So the hunt is on to go destroy some cities and kill some people. And also look at the beautiful Hawaiian landscape.
It's nice to live on an island with no large cities.
Or not. Begin the dog training montage.
You can shake an apple off an apple tree. Shake a
Next we are... Jesus. Next we are introduced to David, a guy who has a crush on Nani. We get to bear witness to the second most iconic scene of the movie.
This is you. This is your badness level. It's unusually high for someone your size. We have to fix that. Hey! Ew!
After Stitch almost brutally murders Completely, Nani is fired from her job and they all go home. As part of the course, pretty much as soon as Stitch enters the house, he completely destroys everything. And this is when the main saying of the entire franchise comes about. And it's for good reason, it's a really great saying.
What about Ohana?
He hasn't been here that long.
Neither have I. Dad said Ohana means family.
Huh?
Ohana means family. Family means
Nobody gets left behind.
Or...
So off they go to Lilo's room where Stitch proceeds to wreck everything. Again. And when Lilo suggests,
You know, you wreck everything you touch. Why not try and make something for a change?
which he actually does, and then proceeds to wreck it anyway. Completely gets to see his precious mosquito food chain in action, and gets a bit of a reality check.
Now they're
I think it might be a koala. An evil koala. I can't even pet it. It keeps staring at me, like it's gonna eat me.
You didn't see anything.
After Stitch is restless, he ends up finding a book which actually gains his interest. The book about the ugly duckling. And since Lilo explains it to him, it's about the person who's lost and has no family, but then on the next page finds their family. More foreshadowing. The next morning, Mr. Bubbles comes along and gets a less than pleasant good morning.
Raising a child.
Hey!
And along comes montage number 2, where Nani has to go look for her job and Stitch has to become a model citizen, which Lilo takes as pretty much make him like Elvis. It goes just about as well as you'd expect.
Good. Now kiss her.
So David comes along saving the day with 2 surfboards as we head into the most iconic scene of the movie, the surfing scene. It's on all the posters. This scene alone is why so many people love this movie, me included. Not only does the soundtrack perfectly work here, not only the characters look like they're having so much fun, but mainly the animation is done so well, it all combines to make surfing look like the coolest thing on earth. I can't not have a massive goofy smile when I watch this scene. However, interrupting the scene is Jumper and Completely as they try once again to capture Stitch, and of course fail. but in the process almost drowned Lilo. David comes in to save Stitch from drowning. However, Mr. Bubbles was watching on the sidelines, and this has caused it to be too much, and he declares that Lilo will be taken in the morning. So the two sisters talk, and Nanny sings the main song of the series, and I really wish I knew the words to the song, like what they mean, because it's a really touching song. Meanwhile, Stitch is feeling guilt for pretty much getting rid of the very last chance this family had to be together, along with him not having his own family of his own. And this is where, well, we find out what happened.
That's us before. It was rainy, and they went for a drive. Be a part of it. You could be our baby, and we'd raise you to be good. Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Stitch, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But if you want to leave, you can.
No, you can't leave now. No. No, you can't.
I'll remember you, though. I remember everyone that leaves.
No, I can't take it. Come back. Stitch, come back. Please, no, don't leave. No! So, he leaves.
Lost. Lost.
Oh my god! I came here to watch a happy family movie with a wacky alien. I didn't know I'd get beaten down like this. After that scene, where probably all of the audience in the cinema are bawling tears, Jumper and Pleatley are fired from the job because they took too long, with the Galactic Federation replacing them with Gantu, the guy that got bitten by Stitch in the beginning. Jumper finds Stitch in the forest and pretty much beats out every piece of hope or happiness he had left.
Waiting.
For what?
Family.
You don't have one. I made you.
Look at that face. That is the face of pure and utter loss. Back at the house, both Lilo and Nanny are completely depressed because they either just lost or are going to lose someone very close to them. And it seems like all hope is lost. When suddenly, David comes over with a job for Nanny, which she quickly runs out to leave for. And right behind her is Stitch. Jumper. The chase scene around the house, and it's a comedy gold mine. Well, depending on how much you like early 2000s humor.
No punch back!
But it ends like this. Bubbles arrives to take Lilo away, but she narrowly escapes, ends up running into Stitch. He then reveals to her that he too is an alien, to which Lilo just wants him gone. However, they're both then captured by Gantu. Just as the ship takes off, Stitch manages to escape with Lilo still trapped inside. Jump and Pleatley come to capture Stitch again, and they're actually successful this time. But after some convincing, Stitch ends up convincing them all that they should abandon that and go look for Lilo instead. So they all team up, and on comes the epic climax. Ship in probably the most insane way possible, but then just as soon as he got on the ship, he gets off it. He then manages to Grand Theft Auto a ride from someone, and has probably the best entrance ever.
Abomination.
nation.
Stupid hair.
You came back.
Nobody gets left behind.
So Stitch saves the day. He gets Lilo back, defeats Gantu, and then everyone comes out safe. The Galactic Federation then comes along to take him home, and on comes the final big emotional speech of the movie. And this is where we truly get to see how much Stitch's character has evolved, going from an evil, maniacal maniac bent on destruction of cities to what he is now.
Who are you?
This is my family. I found it all on my own. It's little and broken, but still good. Yeah, still good.
Hey! 3 days ago, I bought Stitch at the shelter. I paid $2 for him. See the snap? I own him. If you take him, you're stealing.
And then the Galactic Federation leaves and everything wraps itself up. Gantu has been fired from the Galactic Federation. Jumba and Pleatley have been exiled to Earth, never to leave again, and Stitch gets to be with his new family. We then get a cool montage sequence where we get to see what their life is like in the future, and the credits roll. So that was Lilo and Stitch. You know, this film feels very different to most other Disney films out there. I mean, I know at the time they weren't exactly doing their traditional fairy tale stuff anymore, but even then it feels different since this wasn't a traditional fairy tale adaptation or a lighthearted adaptation of a book. It didn't even have any major villains in it. It's just all its own entity. So what do I actually think of the film? I love it. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I give it a 10 out of 10, easily. The story, while it is the usual bad guy ends up turning good thing, there's so much more to it since it has this family charm to it. The characters are great, their personalities are so rich and diverse. They're not just cutouts or stereotypes. They're their own personality. And you'll remember these characters long after you've seen the film. The animation is great, especially in the surfing scene where it shines in all of its glory. The soundtrack is a great mix of sci-fi, epic-sounding themes along with more modern/Hawaiian music in it. And most of all, it's a great comedy film for all of the family, along with some realism and heavy doses of drama, along with an epic action climax. The only thing that I can think of that's wrong with the film is that at times it's a bit too modern, or for the times, like the early 2000s humor, or the fact that Stitch can barely say a word, but yet he can still say the word yeah. But other than that, it's a perfect film. I know I've probably spoiled everything in this review, but I still don't feel like I've done the movie justice. If you haven't seen the movie, or you've been a bit worried about it, give it a chance, you might be pleasantly surprised by it. If you have already seen the movie, go watch it again. It's that good. I can watch this movie every day if I wanted to, twice in one day. I can watch it over and over and still like it as much as I did the very first time I saw it. That is the sign of a truly perfect movie, or at least one I enjoyed wholeheartedly. This has been The Green Maniac. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like it if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more Lilo and Stitch love. Next time we delve into the realm of direct-to-DVD sequels with Lilo and Stitch 2 Stitch Has a Glitch. See you guys next time. You know, actually, I've always wondered, why did Lilo call him Stitch? Is it because he's painful like a stitch in your side? Or because he has so many different layers to him, like a Stitch jumper? Or because he's ugly to look at, like stitches on your arm or something? Or is it because after he was run over and killed She thinks the only reason he's alive is because he was stitched back together like a monstrosity? Oh my god.